Good morning, Fun Van families. I am so excited to be here with you today. This is week 4, and we are going to be talking about centers. So I'm super excited to be the one doing that with you today. I want to just start off with a Fred Rogers quote. So Fred Rogers said, "Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood." So for me, I would just like to know, what are some things that you enjoy playing with your kids, and what are some things you don't like playing with your kid? I'm a big believer in playing to your strengths. So things that I enjoy playing with my kids, I do, and I love it, and we have a great time. And things that I don't enjoy playing, I outsource to a friend or a family member because I don't like it, and my daughter knows. So for those of you that don't know me, I have 2 kiddos living with me. I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old. So we have lots of fun right now being quarantined. So let's talk, or I would like to know from you, what things do you love to play with your kids? And what things do you not love to play with your kids? For me, I love to do Play-Doh, coloring, bike rides, water play. Something I don't love to play is imaginary play. It's not my favorite. I am going to share with you guys today some things that you can make with your kids that are hopefully things that they can kind of do independently. However, if you have time and you're doing it with them, it'll probably be a lot more popular. It'll go over a lot better. And I would like for you to know that if you don't have time to make these things or you don't do any of this, that's okay. You are still an amazing parent and your kids will turn out amazing. I thought that I was going to be the mom that was going to make all the things, create all the things, play all the things, and I am not that mom. And my kids are still turning out pretty good, I think. So, but yesterday when I was making these for work, my daughter was like, "Mom, you're so cool. This is so fun. Hi, Tiana. Thanks for joining us." And so I'm going to show some things that are hopefully easy to throw together that you can do and then easy to clean up so that way they don't make a huge mess because I know that can be challenging. So the first thing that I want to show you is a sticky wall. So all we did is we took contact paper, and you can buy this at Walmart, and I think maybe even Home Depot has it. It's usually used for lining shelves. And so you just take off the one side and it's sticky, and then we taped it up on the wall right here. And it's not the most beautiful job, but my kids didn't really care. I'm not going to be posting this on Pinterest anytime soon, but that's okay. And then I just threw together a little bucket of fun things. So there's some cupcake wrappers from leftover birthday parties, some foam letters I found. Cotton balls are a lot of fun because you can rip them apart. And this is good fine motor skills, and then they just stick to the wall. And most of all the stuff kind of peels off too, so you can re-stick it. So these have been put on and off all day yesterday. Popsicle sticks were really fun. Also, if you have just random paper, they can rip it. Again, more fine motor skills, and then stick it up there. And it's a pretty good time, and it's not messy. You could also do it on the table and have them do things like that, so that would work really well. Pom-poms. We had pom-pom stick up there. So, thanks, Tiana. I thought it was a good idea, too. I was excited. And then the next one I want to show, this one was a little bit of a Pinterest fail for me. This is my third bag, I guess, maybe you could call it. This is a sensory bag. So we love in Fun Van to do sensory bins, but I know that they can be a little overwhelming, especially if your kids are doing independent play, because the rice or the rocks or the whatever can get all over your house and you'll be picking it up for days. But with a sensory bag, they still get the hands-on holding, squishing stuff. So this stuff, Leanne, it's painter's tape. It's already sticky. It's the same thing. I don't know. I probably did a craft with it with you, and it just peels apart, and it's sticky paper. Does that make sense? I can't really get it to peel apart right now. You'll just have to trust me. All right, back to the sensory bag. So the first time I made it with water and oil and food coloring, and then I had stuff in it, and that was fun. The stuff is still in it. It's just now with the yellow paint. I had to use storage bags because I didn't have freezer bags. Freezer bags are supposed to be better. But the storage bag worked pretty good. The oil started to come out by the end of the day, though. So then I remade it today with yellow paint. The yellow paint is nice, though, because you can take a Q-tip and you can write in it. And it works better on a table, obviously. Then it's just fun to move around and play with. Any thoughts on that? I don't know. That was all right. This one I'm super excited about. This is a Parmesan shaker container. So it's got the side with the holes, and then it's got the wide side. I had some pipe cleaners, so you can stick the pipe cleaners on there and stick them in. Also Q-tips, if you have Q-tips. If you don't have one of these, if you are going by the dollar store, they have little shakers like this. I think these are, again, for Parmesan. Or they have salt shakers that you can do. The holes are a little bit tinier, so you have to find something smaller, like the Q-tip's not gonna fit in there. But super fun though still. And then kids love to dump. I also saw, people are so smart on Pinterest. They put crayons in there, and then they have like a little travel container for the crayons, and then they can dump them out. So smart. I loved that. And if you don't have that, I stuck my pom-pom on the wall, and it fell off. Pom-pom tweezers, and then you can put it in this side. Again, more fine motors. Ooh, just pretend that went in. More fine motor skills. So that's always super cool. The next one was inspired by my 1-year-old, because she always takes all of our wipe containers and our Kleenexes and pulls all of them out. And so all of my wipes are in bags around my house because she always finds them. Ooh, Monica, that's such a smart idea. Monica said with her sensory bags that she tapes them on the door. That is really smart. I wonder how the window would go too. I love that. See, that's why you guys are so awesome. And hi, Tracy. Happy to see you're here. So I just took and put washcloths, and I had some felt, so that got in there. And you can just take and pull them out. One thing that I did when I put them on is I kind of folded them over each other. That way, when you pull up one, the next one follows it, because that's really the fun part. And then they can stick them back in too. So hours of fun yesterday for my 1-year-old. Yeah. Okay, my next idea kind of goes back to Easter, like Miss Felicia did last week. So this are just eggs, and inside I have little bears and sight words for my 6-year-old, so that way we can cover both ages. Or you could do letters, you could do numbers, you could do any items that you have that would fit inside the egg, and then a ladle so that you can go in and scoop them out. Once I took the sight words out, I would probably add water to this and food dye, because everything is cooler with water, and when you add food dye, it makes it a lot of fun. You could also just throw these eggs into the bathtub with your kid, and then you really don't have to worry about the splashing too much. And the eggs have holes in them, so it's a lot of fun to dump them out and fill them up and open them and shut them. And yeah, so I thought that was a nice one. Originally when I did it, they had painter's tape that they took and they put across it, so that way you had to go around the painter's tape. I don't have any painter's tape at my house right now, except for like really thick one, which I didn't want to use. I tried doing it with the string, but the string kept breaking off, so I was just like, meh, this is cool enough. The next activity is a paper plate, and I had a dowel, so I taped it to the dowel. We also had a used painter's tape, because home projects. And food dye to a water table is the best. I highly recommend it. We had green water table yesterday, and it's fun. I even let my daughter put it in, and whatever crazy color she comes up with. Oh, Tracy Taylor says she read about doing a sinker float with Easter eggs, so you fill them with different objects and see which ones sink and which ones float. That is so fun. So my daughter decorated her little stick, and then a balloon. If you have a balloon, like I had it left over from a birthday party, so just tossing it back and forth. It's good eye-hand coordination. It's good gross motor skills. So there's a lot of fun, and your kids can do it by themselves and with each other, or you can do it with them. And we counted, like, how many times can we hit it? And then we counted. So that was really fun. And then this idea kind of goes back to what Miss Amber was talking about yesterday. She was talking about taking deep breaths. So bubbles are a really, really good way to make sure you're taking deep breaths. Also, kind of like water, if you are feeling frustrated or your kid's feeling frustrated, blowing bubbles, I don't know what it is, but it's super calming. And so I actually ran out of bubble solution. I made this one myself and just refilled it. It's just like a half a cup of water, 3 3 cups of water, half a cup of soap, and then 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I posted it in our Pinterest if you are on Pinterest with us. So then, and then they can chase the balloons, and it's really nice. And I'm glad you like my plate balloon idea, Ashley. It's super simple and lots of fun. All right. So nobody told me though, because maybe I asked too early. What is your favorite thing to play with your kids, and what do you not like to play with your kids? Because at the very beginning, I talked about how play is the work of our children, and they are learning through their play all the time. And you might notice that with the traumatic events going on, that some of your kids' play might be a little bit dark, like they might be acting out, rescuing or getting hurt or getting sick and things like that. That's very normal, and that's actually how kids work through their problems, because then they're able to solve it. So like Paw Patrol might need to go and save somebody that's really sick or something like that. So if you are noticing that, don't be concerned. It's actually really good for them to be doing that. So I mentioned at the beginning that my favorite thing to play with my kids, I really like going on bike rides. I really enjoy coloring with them. I really enjoy Play-Doh. And then my least favorite thing to do with my kid is pretend play. My daughter has very strong leadership skills, which is wonderful. Hi, Wendy. But the leadership skills can be hard in play, and so I struggle a little bit with it and not taking control of the play. So that is why I try to avoid doing pretend play with her if I can. Tracy Taylor says she loves balloons and digging in dirt and just water. Yes, water and music too. Also, another idea, toys that you have, like let's say you have Legos in this room. If you take those Legos outside or to another room, they are brand new toys, I swear. So if you want to try that, that is always a fun thing to do. And then Tiana says she likes going on walks with my baby. Oh, yes, my poor dogs are like, no more walks, we're tired, because we're in the same boat. And then Tracy says she does not like coloring, but she does like Play-Doh. I know there are some moms that are like, no Play-Doh in my house, it's not happening. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if you do try out any of these little activities, we'd love to see pictures. And Tiana says, I don't like doing messy art with my baby. I agree, Tiana. I think that's when I was kind of like, I'm not really this type of mom, because I thought I would be, but they are, it takes so long to set up and then clean up that I am tired of it. And then Leanne says her favorite is pretend play, but her least favorite is dress up pretend play. It's a lot of work getting them in those clothes and out, right? And then Stephanie asked, do you have any ideas for smaller children? I've been introducing my daughter into painting. She's only 6 months. Absolutely. So Stephanie, the sensory bag is a really good one to do. You can put a piece of paper in here, add the paint, and you can add different colors, and then let her smush it around. And then you take the paint or the paper out and let it dry. And then you've got a craft that looks cute and she got to do, but it's not messy. Also, you can make paint out of flour and water and then put them in the bathtub, let them paint the bathtub and then wash it down. So that's always nice. Yeah, Ashley, you were the one that I was thinking of that doesn't like Play-Doh. And then I'm glad you like the tips, Patricia. And Tracy, I love that you have a table covered in paint spots. So it's so fun. I always want to be at your house. And then what other ideas? Does anybody else have any ideas about what you can do for smaller kids that can keep them kind of entertained? I also really like the wipe one for little kids, because again, the pulling and the dumping is usually something they really enjoy. I think that this, yep, flour and water. I will try to put the link to how to make the paint in the comments after this. Yes, food coloring too. I forgot that. And Tracy says kids clean up. She lets them get messy. A good idea too with kids getting messy is to let them paint outside. Let them make a mess, spray them off with a hose. It's always good. This is another good activity for little kids, because again, they're really focused on that fine motor and putting things in and dumping them out. If you don't have a container like this, if you have the Puffs container, you can cut like a little slit in it and put popsicle sticks in. That's fun. And then open it and dump it. And then, yeah. All right. I hope you guys are doing good, and I will add those links as soon as I end this. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye.